Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and I will be sharing my screen. Today we're going to look at, still on Segnali di Pericolo, we're going to be looking at this very important sign. It is called passaggio a livello con barriere or semibarriere. Now, it's still our usual triangle with its point facing up, and look at what we have at the internal part of the triangle. It looks like a gate, but it's not a gate. So that is what indicates our passaggio a livello con barriere or semibarriere. Now let's proceed. The first line tells us, indica a 150 metri un passaggio a livello con barriere o semibarriere, metà barriere. This simply means that this very sign is positioned at 150 meters away from the spot where you have a train track crossing the road. Now, the passaggio a livello con barriere means that at the spot of the train track, you will have a barrier that blocks the road for the vehicles. So we have passaggio a livello con barriere, a full barrier that is blocking the road, and we have semibarriere, metà barriere. It means we have half barrier that is blocking the road. So it could be half on both lanes. It could be one full barrier crossing, blocking the two lanes entirely. Let's proceed. Bisogna moderare la velocità e fermarsi se ci sono. Now it says you have to moderate your speed and stop if you have the following things. Now let's examine what are the things that will make you stop. Una luce rossa fissa accesa. Let me take it again. Una luce rossa fissa accesa. Luce rossa fissa accesa is telling you if you have one red fixed light on. Una luce rossa fissa accesa. So you will see one full red light that comes up. You have to stop when you see that. Then what else again? Due luci rosse lampeggianti in quello con semibarriera. Now, when you have livello con barriera, that is the full length barrier crossing the two lanes of the road, you will see one red light. But when you see semi-barriera, half barrier crossing either side of the lane, you will see due luci rossi lampeggianti, two red lights alternating. Not blinking, but alternating. The full red lights will be two, but it will be coming up and on, alternating itself. So that is where you have semi-barriere. Then what else will you come across again? Il dispositivo acustico a campana in funzione. Dispositivo acústico is an acoustic device that will be making a noise like as though they are ringing a bell. So you're going to be hearing that. And also, he said, cavalletti a strisce bianche e rosse che sbarrano i binari. Cavalletti, let me highlight it. Cavalletti a strisce bianche e rosse che sbarrano i binari. This is, it's either you see this or you see that. That is why they say or. It's not like you are going to see the two at the same time. You will see either this or that. So it's either you see the dispositivo acústico or you see cavalletti sulle bianche rosse. That is a red and white pole blocking the train track. Okay, so let's proceed. Sono vietate. What are the things you cannot do? Sono vietate. Number one, la sosta. You cannot stop. Huh? You cannot just stop at that spot. No. L'inversione di marcia. You cannot make a U-turn. E la retromarcia. L'inversione di marcia e la retromarcia is you cannot make a U-turn and you cannot take a reverse. No, you cannot. Also, mentre il sorpasso si può effettuare se si rimane nel proprio senso di marcia, non invadendo la semicarreggiata opposta. It says you can do sorpasso, you can overtake when, let me take it again, mentre il sorpasso si può effettuare se si rimane nel proprio senso di marcia, non invadendo la semicarreggiata opposta. Remaining on your own lane, you can overtake the next vehicle. But you are not allowed to overtake if you are going to enter the other lane. No, no, no. So if you have enough space on your lane, if your lane is wide enough and you can overtake, still remaining on your lane, then you can. But if you are not, if your tires are going to cross into the other lane, then don't overtake. That is what he's saying. È sbagliato dire che il segnale indica una linea tranviaria protetta o che può essere preceduto dal segnale Croce di Sant'Andrea. This is telling us that you shouldn't call this sign another name. There are other signs that tells us about the train track. So don't mistake this very one with the other ones that are telling us about the train track. This very one is passaggio a livello con barriere or semibarriere. Then I want to quickly repeat what that indicates. Passaggio a livello con barriere is one full-length barrier that is crossing, blocking the entire two-lane of the road. That is the road for you that are going and those coming. So one full barrier crosses, blocks the entire two lanes. Then semi-barriere indicates half barrier blocking this side and the other lane, this very lane and the other lane separately. So you just have to understand. And sometimes the barrier might just block only one side of the road, leaving the other side open. So you need to understand this very sign because it is a crucial sign, very important sign. So with this, I'm gonna stop this class. But before I stop it, I want to give you another important tip for your quiz questions. Yes, I've given you two tips telling you that when you meet these particular words in your quiz questions, that very question is false. So I gave you, the first tip I gave you was mai, never. The second one I gave you was frizione, never. That does not mean that if you don't see these two words, then all the questions are true. No, it just tells you that those particular questions are false. Now I'm going to give you one tip for the question that is vero, cioè true. The word is richiede. I'm going to write it down in the comment section so that you will see this actual spelling. Richiede. When you across the word richiede, it simply means that that particular question you are on is vero. It is true. So don't make mistakes. We have a lot of tips for questions that are false, and we have a lot of tips for questions that are true. So this very one I'm giving you today, the word richiede, is when you come across it, the question is true. Okay, with this, I'm ending today's class. See you in our next class and with the next sign. Thank you. God bless you.